Plants and gardening supplies are now available at Aldi's, as well as fixtures for your outdoors for the season. Come along with me and let's go and see what they have, the deals and everything that they have that's great for us. If you've never been here before, my name is Marlene. Welcome everyone to my home and garden channel. Now Aldi, here we come. So the first thing I did was to go in and get one of the little booklets that they have in there just to see the specials and the prices. And you know how it goes, guys. If you've ever been here before or not, you have to stick the quarter in to get a cart, and then you get it back when you return it. So let's take a look at what I saw first as I went in, and that was potting soil mix. And this was for $4.99, which I think is a pretty good price. They say it lasts for about 9 months, and it has fertilizers in there. And then they had the garden soil for $3.99. That's kind of comparable to me, I think. Over here next, they had the stakes for your hanging baskets, and I thought that was really nice. And you can see, it displays how you can put your petunias and other plants like that in there. So I was quite happy to see those. And the price for those was $6.99, which is pretty good. It's pretty durable, feels pretty sturdy to me. And this is not sponsored, guys. So over here now, this one holds 2 baskets, so it makes it, even double for you. You can put 2. And I've seen people growing things like, fruit bearing plants on there. That was for $9.99, so that's an option for you to use it that way as well. And they had this drop over greenhouse that was for $19.99. You can buy it and always save it for future or put your tender transplants in there. Then they had the hanging baskets, which I think these look really neat and nice. And you can see it's 14 inches across, so that goes perfectly for the hooks that if you bought any of those, you just put them on there and you're good to go. These now, they're pretty large. These are like for your window boxes, geraniums and other plants look so good in here. You can always put the thriller, spiller, filler, option in there like I discussed in my previous video. And it was so gorgeous. Pretty sturdy, and I really liked how they look. And you can always change a liner, year after year and keep the frame. And then over here, these were some planters. You can use these for indoors, or I guess maybe like your porch. And you can see how they're looking there, the shape that they have, and that they had, a few color choices there. And they do have a hole in the bottom, which is very important because you want to make sure that your plant doesn't get root rot if you're putting it directly in there. So that's really important. Further look at containers. These were some self-watering ones. You see the little lip right there with a little side part that opens up, and that's going to help you to not have to water your plants as much, especially when the weather gets really warm as we move into the summer season. So I thought this was really good. You can see the price, and you can see the inside how it looks, and that they have more than one color depending on what your color scheme is that you're going with. So I thought that was pretty good. And over here, if you're going for a more, decorative pastel kind of a look, these were for $14.99, and they're a lot larger, as you can see. So if that's what you're going for, then it will definitely work for you. And this is what I was mentioning before, this previous video that I did that shows you the thriller, spiller, filler effect to get, container gardens that look just as fabulous as the ones that are inside your garden center. And I will link this at the end for you so you can take a look in details on it if you haven't seen it already. Moving along, they had these solar lanterns, which I thought looked really, really stylish. I absolutely love them. And those would be perfect on your porch or your patio to give it that nice lift. $6.99 is what they were going for. And it looks really good, especially if you have a more modern take on your decor. And these were some propagation vases. You can just grow your plants in there or propagate them that way indoors. And you can get as many of those as you like to create the effect that you want. So I thought that was really, really nice. And moving along, these are some garden statuaries, I guess we would call them, depending on what your style is. These are available for you. And of course, it just depends on, what you're working with. They were going for $9.99, and they were of a reasonable height, just to show you how they measure up to my hand. And it says they're solar as well, too. I did see that, so I guess they light up at night for you. And over here, especially if you have, smaller kids, these would be great for them. Little wind spinners, they call them the mini ones. These were for $3.99. And I just think that this helps your kids to appreciate, the garden a whole lot more from an early age. Speaking of that, over here they have like a little bug inspector kit that they had for smaller kids. You can have them enjoy these with, with supervision, of course. They can take a look at different bugs that are out there. And again, make sure that they're supervised so that they will be safe when they're doing so. I know they had a walk-in greenhouse, and this is good too, like for your little transplants. As you harden them off, you can put them in there, or it's perfect for the winter season when it comes around to keep your plants going. If you ever wanted to try, collecting or having bees, you can get the beehives that they have right there. And they also have the bird houses as well. Same company makes them. And I think that diamond-shaped one is really, really cute. I absolutely like it. And they had some oblong ones or rectangular ones that were for $9.99. So I think that those look really, really stylish, and I like them. Over here, they had the garden stakes. When you plant some things that kind of flop over, it's good to have them. This was for $4.99, and there was 4 of them in the pack. It's very, very useful in your garden, whether it's for vegetables or flowers that have either heavy heads or heavy fruits coming over. And these were some steps right here. You can arrange them as you like, to put your plants on or whatever you wanted to use them for in your garden, or perhaps even on your porch. And you can see how they're looking there. And the price for these was for $24.99. So that's an investment right there. Over here, now, if you ever wanted somewhere you can pot up your plants, do your transplants, plant new flowers, you don't want to bend over too much, these are a good option for you. They are for $39.99. Another investment there as well. And then over here, I pretty much like these. I don't need any of these right now, but I thought the price was really good, $6.99. And they felt pretty sturdy to me. So I think it'd be a good buy, just to fence off certain areas. And moving on to your patio or your porch, $49.99 was for this set. And you can see the weight size that it takes. So you can see how many can fit in there, depending on your family and how you're catering to. Of course, you can get multiple ones, to beautify your space. And to go with that, they had these outdoor pillows that you can get and you can put on them. And what I liked about these is that they are reversible, meaning that you can use the side with a pattern or the side that is, plain. And then they had these decorative glass tables, which I think look really nice. A kind of a mosaic, you can get that going there, make your space really pretty. And it was for $12.99. And if you're liking this video so far, guys, be sure to give me a thumbs up. And over here, we have these are little like caps that you put on your steps, like on the rails that you have there. And over here, they have the pressure washer to make sure that your outdoor space is clean. Because you know how it is with the pollen and all the buildup. Sometimes you may get, moss on there. Those go perfectly well for them. So they're showing you the price for that there. And then over here, we have outdoor lanterns. And I think these are very stylish as well. You can always, and they're solar too. So that's good. And you can always put decorative things on the inside to beautify your space that way as well. And they also had some packs of solar lights here for $12.99. I think those look really, really good. If you need to get an umbrella maybe for your patio set, you can get these here, $39.99. And they were in a bag like these. And this is more like a hammock that you can hang from one side to the other and just relax in your outdoor space. $9.99. And as the season wears along, it's good to have a fire pit, $49.99 for your, your evening entertainment. And it goes from season to season as it gets colder at night. It helps to keep you warm. Over here, they had this for $9.99, which is just to cover your grill, which I think is kind of important. And to beautify your space, guys, even the more, they have these little wreaths right here. I like mine larger, but if you prefer the smaller ones, it's 13 inches. So that's really not too bad. If you have double doors, even more beautiful, you can put one on either side. And I think they're very spring-like and summer-like too. And then over here now, they had these rugs. And you can see the different colors that they had, different patterns. They're showing you right there. So I think this is a really good idea as well too. And it's for indoor or outdoor. So I'm guessing that they're going to hold up. And you can take a look to see the thickness based on how I'm holding it right here to see how it would look. And there they are. And guys, I do a lot of porch videos, refresh makeovers from season to season. So be sure to check this one out. I'll put it in my description box for you so you can take a look to see how I brought my porch from winter into spring and summer. So for self-care in the garden, they had some gloves. These are so very important when you're planting your flowers, pulling weeds or whatever. $6.99. And I like how they felt, because sometimes some of them, when you feel them, I'm just like, this is not even going to work. It's not going to keep any moisture at all off of my hand or anything. Speaking of moisture, like after the rain, if you want to go out and inspect your garden, or it may be like dewy in the morning, these are great to put on your feet, and they have different sizes. You can just walk through the wet and you are good to go. Especially like after, those heavy rains that we get sometimes in the spring and the summer, these would come in pretty handy. And over here, this is like a mini saw that you can use to cut things in your garden. And again, guys, I'm just going based on what I'm seeing here. Some of these products I've used before, some I have not. So, just do your research and choose what will work best for you and your family. And over here, this is a composter, one that turns, which is really good. So it gets enough air in there. You don't have to worry about all of that stinky smell that can come sometimes from them. Especially if you're new to composting, this is a really good idea to get. And it tells you on the back the size that it holds 15.9 gallons, which is a pretty good size, or 60 liters if you're using the metric system. So I thought that was a pretty good one, and maybe I'll get one of those. And I also just wanted to show you that they have the ones for your countertop as well. So if you wanted to do your composting inside in your kitchen, you can always get one of these, or maybe like in a mud room, and you can see the colors. So it kind of helps to blend in and make your place look really nice. And you can see they tell you what you should and should not put in there. And I just wanted to pause a moment to invite you that if you've never subscribed to my channel before, I do hope that you will hit the subscribe button and tap the notification bell twice so you never miss an upload. I do lots of gardening tours, tips, and topics, and I just love the exchange of fellow gardeners and helping those who are starting out. Now we move on to the hoses, $19.99, and they say that this is no kink. And guys, sometimes it can be so annoying when your hose kinks up, especially as the weather gets warm, it bends and the water isn't flowing out. So this would be a good thing to have. And they have these connectors as well that you can put on there. And I think I like that one that has the 4 options, because sometimes you want to do different things and then we're kind of limited if the hose is on there. So I think that's a good idea. And of course, they have the hose nozzle over here as well. And then a little edging for your garden, guys. $4.99. They're interlocking, it says. And I think it's a great idea to keep like the lawn off of your flower bed. So I think this looks really good. I am seeing a lot of the Garden Line products. So it says it's 10 feet that's going to give you for each of those packages. And over here, they had some bare root roses. And you can see they're filling out already. So you can see what you're getting and that they're coming to life. And you will want to plant those, quickly before the weather gets too warm, so they don't have to struggle to come up in the warmer weather. So this is how they're looking there. And they also had some begonias in the hanging baskets, $8.99. But you have to go early to get the better one, guys. We were a little bit late in the day. If you wanted to get a nice, tall, silver maple tree in your yard, this would be one for you here. You can see this is the bare roots here as well. And you can look at the instructions. They tell you how to plant it. Make sure you have a lot of space and you move it away from your house so it's not going to mess up your foundation. So this is what we got right here, guys. We got the 4-way faucet, and I'm so happy that we did that because I know we're going to need it. So I'm hoping that this gave you some great information as you plan your garden out for the season, or just make additions to what you have done already. It's always such a pleasure making these videos for you guys, and I hope you enjoy them as watching them as much as I do making them. It really gives me a lift whenever I do it. I love your comments, so be sure to leave them, and any tips that I may have missed, be sure to add them in as well. And thank you so much for watching and for supporting my channel. I do hope to see you in the next video, and remember to like, subscribe, and share. Take care.